Challenge problems time again. All right, so here's the one I presented to my classes today, at least the first one. It says a line contains 2 points, A, B, and 2, 3, and has a slope of -3. A second line contains the 2 points, A, B, and 4, 1, and has a slope of 1/2. Find the value of A plus B. Express your answers in improper fraction reduced to lowest terms. Well, before we can even start this problem, we need to start with the idea of let's just do a quick review of slope. I hope all of you know how to find the slope. You absolutely should know how to find the slope, but we're going to review it anyway, real quickly. Okay, when I want to find the slope, I know most teachers probably refer to things like rise over run and things like that. I don't use those terms. I actually use calculus terminology. It's really meant to make your life easier as you move forward. If you're comfortable with this terminology, when calculus comes around, it'll make a whole lot more sense. Okay, so the way I calculate the slope is this little symbol is the Greek letter delta, but in math it means change. So this is saying the change in y. So I started at 9, I ended at 1, that is a change of -8. The change, and it's divided by the change of x. I started at -5, I ended at +2, that's a change of 7. So my slope would be -8/7. That's just a real quick review of how slope works. Now, if we go back to the original question, which again shortened it down basically to this idea, we have one line that contains the point AB, the point 2, 3, and has a slope of -3. We have a second line that also contains the point AB, contains the point 4, 1, and has a slope of 1/2. And I know we're talking about linear because we're talking about slopes. Slopes only apply to lines, so I know we're talking about lines. So now I'm going to use this information to write an equation. And I'm going to do it because back when I did slope just a couple of seconds ago, this -8 is an idea of the difference. It's a change. Change is the difference. So I'm going to find the difference between these two things. And I'm going to write it because I'd rather write b minus than something minus b. I'm going to say the top is b minus 3 because that's the difference in the y's. The difference in the x's is a minus 2. That has to equal -3. Likewise, over here, for this equation, same idea. B minus 1 divided by a minus 4 has to be 1/2. Now, I have effectively written the equations for these two lines in what is called an old school version of point slope form. Now, you've seen point slope form written in a different way, but this is actually how I learned point slope form, was when you have it something looking like this. Now, these two forms aren't particularly helpful in the form they're in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the fractions. And I'm going to get rid of the fractions by multiplying by the denominator. So I'm going to take this side times a minus 2. So you've got this fraction, b minus 3 over a minus 2. And then, of course, if you multiply one side of an equation by something, you have to multiply the other side of the equation by the exact same thing. And I'm going to do that. And if you makes you happier, you can actually write it this way, because the order doesn't matter on that. And likewise over here, I'm going to do the exact same thing, except I'm going to multiply by the common denominator on both sides. So I'm going to multiply by 2, a minus 4. And that's going to be multiplied by this fraction, b minus 1 over a minus 4 equals, and again, I have the fraction 1/2 times this thing that I just multiplied by, which was, I'm going to write this exactly what I'll do. I'll use a dot. And then 2 a minus 4. Now go back to this one. Over here, when I multiply both sides by minus 2, this a minus 2 and this a minus 2 cancel. And I'm simply left with b minus 3. Over here, I use the distributive property, negative 3a plus 6. In this equation, over on this side, again, it's a separate equation. When I multiply it, the a minus 4's cancel, and I'm left with 2